Kind of crazy how one single plugin sometimes can have so many uses and what I call so many off-label uses, and how much mojo and vibe it can pack. This is the case for the new Wave Alchemy Tapewave. That's the name of the plugin that you will see me throw in pretty much everywhere in my mixes. Let's take a look. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixBus TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. Before we start, check the info box down below for free plugin special discounts, offers, and of course link to the new Wave Alchemy Tapewave. Visit mixbustv.com to book mix and mastering with me, find all the mix and mastering courses, private lessons, and mix consultations. And if you want to access the exclusive videos here on YouTube, click the join button, become a MixBus TV member, get all the perks, and if the videos are helping you, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Let's get to the video. Here's the GUI of the new Tapewave by Wave Alchemy. First of all, I absolutely love it. Very retro, like the style and the sound of the plugin. This, as you can imagine, is an emulation of cassette, the old tape cassettes that we used to have in cars, home stereos, and so on. And I know you're probably thinking there are others like this. Not quite. And let me tell you right off the bat, the few things that I think separates Tapewave from the rest. Number one, the wow and flutter effects. You can see the sliders here with their relative rates. For some reason, sound really legit. I was around when cassettes were around. Early on in my days, I used cassettes for special effects. And the authenticity of the wow and flutter will surprise you. Second, we have different types of distortion. We have the cassette distortion, which is dependent from the input and output. We can see the sliders here. We also have the drive and the age. They are all very organic sounding. You will hear it in a minute. And the third thing is not really relative to this particular plugin, but this style, this type of plugins. If you've been following me for a minute, you know I'm not lying. I recently released a short video about things like this. I use these types of effects on so many things, whether it's in a subtle or a more heavy-handed way. You will see me throwing these type of effects on a lot of things. And for me, the key is the off-label use. For example, I use them a lot on the return of my delays and reverbs, among other tricks. But let me show this to you. First of all, let's open the tool tab here, top right, because we have GUI size. We can increase it or decrease it. We have 4 types of oversampling: efficient, standard, high, and ultra. And we can also lock the oversampling when we change presets, so we have that locked in. We have a hiss button. We can turn it off and on. We have an input and output slider, which will change the amount of distortion and color dictated by one of the styles. We have studio, dirty, home, old, dark, and lo-fi. We have the old school LED metering right here. We have the wow and flutter sliders with their relative rate. We have the age knob, the drive knob, and then the compression sections with 2 buttons: pre-tape effect, of course, and log, which is logarithmic release as opposed to linear release. And then we have the drift knob here. Pretty simple. I actually asked Wave Alchemy if they could do 2 things in the next update. One, to let me bypass the color of the cassette so I could use the wow and flutter by itself, because again, believe it or not, I liked it so much and I have so many uses for just the wow and flutter alone with their relative rate that I wanted to be able to use it without adding color. For example, if you have a programmed drum for hip hop or any other genre that is MIDI, you throw in a little bit of wow, a little bit of flutter, and it's instant groove. You can find the pocket and it feels a little more human. And the second thing, I asked for a dark GUI just simply because it's easier on my eyes, and they're probably gonna be in the next update. But let's start listening how this sounds. I'm gonna show you the different styles of the cassettes. We go from studio style, the more pristine, so to speak, down to lo-fi, each one being grittier and darker and with more artifacts. All right off the bat, you can see the difference between all the styles. Different type of grit, different type of color, different type of artifacts. Let's try the styles really quick on something else. right? You hear the compression, it's very aggressive, very snappy, but how cool do the drive and age sound? And I want to change material and show you something before going to the off-label uses. I have this really cool sound here. Right, and this is a sample and it's got this really bright sound. That's one way to use this plugin that I really like, just taking the edge off of loops and sounds like this. It sounds so cool. Right now I have one on the drum and one on the loop, and you get this instant mood just with this one on. And I hope you can understand now what I was saying about the wow and flatter. They sound really authentic. Right now we have them only on the loop, but we can add a little bit with very slow rate on the drum to just take away that perfectly on grid kind of feeling. Very cool. Right, it sounds really cool, especially when you push the drive in combination with the compression. It's got this really nice grit. There's a lot of lo-fi plugins out there, but it's very easy to make them sound like bad quality as opposed to cool lo-fi. I think Tapewave nails this. Alright, notice the studio style. The studio style can really add this subtle oomph to any material, whether it's drum, bass, vocals, or synth, like in this case, even just not touching anything else, it is the more pristine and can really be used on so many things because it's subtle, but at the same time, just listen to what it does to the low end and the top end at the same time. It is subtle, but it makes such a big difference. Now, like I said, let me show you another turn of an effect. We're gonna go with reverb now. This is without it.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all.
With it.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Let my guard down, now you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved.
Right, you see how it fits better right now. We don't have music and everything, but just so you can hear well the effect of this on the reverb. Same with delays, it makes them so much more interesting. Without it.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Let my guard down, now you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved.
I just think effects like this make the other effects sound way more real, way more organic, and assimilate into the mix much easier. When you think about the cumulative effect of putting one of these on multiple tracks with less extreme settings, everything gels better.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Let my guard down.
So much so that I'm gonna put one on vocals right now, because of course you can use it on something like this and it actually helps sometimes with the dynamics. If you push the input, you will hear that as well.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Let my guard down, now you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved.
And of course you can go for special effects with lo-fi and dark.
Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. Let my guard down, now you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved.
All kinds of cool effects. Alright, it's also cool if you want to create something like a cascade effect and you know that studio is the brightest and lo-fi is the darker, and if you start stacking sound you can put one and just go darker and darker and darker. It's so many cool effects that you can do with this plugin. Just use the wow and flutter to just again move around things, because with computer-based music we often get perfectly on grid, mechanical kind of sounds, and this is a cool thing to add a little bit of life to it. Well, this was Tapewave by Wave Alchemy, and if I didn't mention it before, this is only $37, so steal. The link is gonna be in the info box down below. If you liked the video, please don't forget to leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Visit mixplustv.com to book mix and mastering with me, find all the mix and mastering courses and all the other services. Click the join button and become a MixPlusTV member to access all the exclusive videos here on YouTube. And if the videos are helping you, please consider using the super thanks or grab some merch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.